DreAllDay.com.
What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This is the third of 3 installments of my top 5s, but it's actually going to be top 10 for these last 2 of 3 specific category positions in the NBA. We did point guards 2 days ago. We did wings yesterday. Point guards was top 5, wings top 10, bigs top 10 that I'm doing here today. I think this category, everyone pretty much falls into the big category. I don't think we got any discrepancies. I only had one discrepancy in the whole thing, was that James Harden, you could put him in point guards, I put him in wings. Here, I think everybody's on the same page as far as these people being bigs, quote unquote. All right, I don't even need to define that. You don't understand, you don't understand. Well, let's get right into it. I'm gonna name my top 10. Actually, I did a top 11 here. I did a top 11 for bigs, excuse me. Top 11 for bigs, and I got 4 guys that I put in the honorable mention. So let's get right to it. Number 1, Anthony Davis. Number 2, Karl Anthony Towns. Number 3, Boogie Cousins. Number 4, this guy's a discrepancy. He could have went in the wings. Is Draymond Green. I put him in the bigs category, and I'll explain that. I put Draymond in the bigs. Number 4, Blake Griffin. Number 5. Number 6, Kevin Love. Number 7, Mark Gasol. Number 8, Paul Millsap. Number 9, Kristaps Porzingis. Number 10, Rudy Gobert. Number 11, the Joker, Jokic. And then I got honorable mention, which we'll get to in a minute. So first, let me talk about, let's just start at the top. Anthony Davis. I think he is definitely he has the highest ceiling, actually, of everybody, just because of, his length, his athletic ability. He can shoot, he can handle it, he can score. I'm not sure how much of a leader is Anthony Davis ready to be, because this team has only made the playoffs once and they got swept in 4 games so quick that you might not even forgot they even made the playoffs a couple of years ago. Anthony Davis got to step his leadership game up. He already got skills. He got to step his leadership up. Now, does the team around him need to get better? Yes, but if you're a superstar in the league, your team should make the playoffs just on the strength of you being on the team. Dwayne Wade did it. LeBron James did it. When Dwight Howard did it. You could say a guy like Derrick Rose did it. You want to go back further, Kobe did it, Allen Iverson, Shaq. If you're a superstar, your team got to make the playoffs. Even if you lose in the first round, your teams need to be making the playoffs if you're playing, if you're a superstar. Anthony Davis got to step his shit up. Number 2, Karl Anthony Towns. Now, he has not, this is his 3rd year in the league coming up. Karl Anthony Towns is very, very fucking good. Very good. This guy could potentially be in the number 1 spot in this category of bigs. He has all the potential. He can pretty much do everything. I think I was reading the NBA general manager survey. They said you can start a team with 1 player. Who would you pick? I think he finished first. Karl Anthony Towns finished first, in part because of his skill, another part because of his youth. The ceiling that is above him is very, very high. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can post up. He seems like a good guy. He grabs you rebounds. He's a 20 and 10 guy. He's probably going to do even more than 20 and 10. The sky's the limit for him, but I think the same for AD, and AD has done more so far, and AD ain't that old. So I'm still going with Anthony Davis, number 1. Karl Anthony Towns, number 2. Now, this guy almost got the number 2 spot, but I moved him to number 3 behind Karl Anthony. That is DeMarcus Boogie Cousins. Main reason I put Boogie at this spot, because Boogie has not shown any leadership ability to this point in his career. He's shown none. No leadership ability. Boogie Cousins needs to be on a team where there is someone who is a clear alpha dog above him. Maybe not alpha dog in terms of skill, because there ain't too many players who are more skilled than Boogie, but someone who's more of the leader, who this is their team and Boogie, you part of the team. I think Boogie would be great playing in Washington with John Wall. They were teammates in college. They know each other. I'll watch every game. Not every game. But if Boogie was on the team with the Wizards with a guy like John Wall, that would work. Put Boogie on the team with a LeBron James or a Chris Paul or James Harden, or someone who is the dominant guy, and he can be the guy too, but that guy's the dominant guy. Boogie would be great. This team with AD and Boogie together, I wasn't sure how well they would work together, but they're both so fucking good that they can both get 20 and 10. These guys, for the part of the season last year where they were teammates, they were basically taking turns scoring 30. They were taking, one guy would score 35, the other guy would score 20. They both have 12 to 15 rebounds, and they will lose. That was pretty much what was happening, right? Did y'all see any of the stat lines for this team for the end of the season when Boogie and AD were teammates? They both were putting up crazy stats, like fantasy-wise, great stats. I wanted to get one of these guys on my fantasy team, but they both got drafted before I had a chance. They're going to put up great stats and they're going to lose. That's pretty much what's going to happen with this team over and over and over again. So And Boogie is still one of the best players in the league. The guy still can get you 30, he can get you 40. He can get you 15, 20 rebounds. He can do pretty much everything. These top 3 guys can do everything. They can dribble, they can shoot, they can pass, they can work out of the post, they can face up on guys, they can make 3-pointers, they can rebound, they can block shots, they can play defense. All 3 of these guys got to prove their leadership medal. All 3 of them. Somebody got to step up and prove to be a leader. I don't know who it's going to be. Maybe Carl Anthony, but I don't know. We don't know enough about him yet. AD's been around for a while, so we'll see. And I'm sure he's thinking this himself. And Boogie Cousins, people are like, okay, how much can we trust this guy to not blow up, not mentally just blow up during the game, getting technical fouls, arguing with other players and all this shit that he gets into outside of the actual skill. And I don't think there's a leader in New Orleans that can keep him from flying off the handle if he decides to do so. So that's why I put him number 3. Number 4, Draymond Green. I put him at the number 4 spot. Not the number 4, so I put him in the bigs category simply because Draymond spends a lot of time playing the big position for his team, even though the Warriors don't even have that many bigs, quote unquote. We know Draymond can bring the ball up. He can lead the team in assists. He can score some points. He can score 20 points. He can grab 10 rebounds. He's the defensive player of the year. He can block shots. Draymond is like the Swiss Army knife. He can kind of do anything. He doesn't need the ball to be effective. We all know this about Draymond. I put him at that bigs, in the bigs category, simply because for that team that he plays for, he plays the role of a big, so to speak. If you look at their lineup, you say Steph, Clay, KD, whoever's playing center, Zaza, and Draymond. You could say that KD is the 4. I would say Draymond plays more of that position because KD kind of is more the offensive focal point, or him and Steph are the offensive focal points. And Draymond usually will guard a guy who is a big, quote unquote, defensively. That's why I put him in the big category. But I understand if you think he could be in the wings. But in this video, these rankings, he's in the bigs category, and that's just what it is. You could arguably put Draymond at number 1 in the bigs category because he got the championships. He got the Defensive Player of the Year award that AD, Carl Anthony, and Boogie don't have. And he has shown leadership ability, his ability to galvanize his teammates that these other 3 guys above him have not shown. So you could argue for him here. He's the only one that kind of makes it kind of weird to do it because of, you could put him in either category because he got the victories, he got the winning and the championships and trophies, but he's not the offensively skilled guy that you usually see in these rankings. A lot of offensive guys. Draymond's not an offensive guy. He can score, but he's not an offensive guy. But I still got to put him in here at the number 4 spot. Number 5, Blake Griffin. Challenge with Blake Griffin is that the dude can't stay healthy. He keeps getting injured, and we don't know if Blake can lead. Can he be the man on the team? This year is his chance to prove it. Can he stay healthy? He gets to prove that also. And how far can the team go if Blake's the best player? My opinion, 2nd round. My opinion, Blake Griffin, the best player on your team, you go into the 2nd round, and that's pretty much all that's happening. And going to the 2nd round doesn't mean you're a bum. I mean, you gotta be damn good to get to the 2nd round in NBA playoffs. But how much further can you go than that? Especially in the Western Conference, can the Clippers beat the Spurs in a series? Can they beat the Rockets with Chris Paul now? Can they beat the Warriors? I say no, no, and no. I don't think they can. With Blake Griffin as your best player, I say you're a 2nd round team, and that's pretty much it. Kevin Love is the guy I put at number 6. I was battling between Love and Blake, but I got to go with Blake over Kevin Love simply because Blake's been on the Clippers the whole time. He's been putting up a solid, consistent contribution to that team the whole time he's been there. It may not be the superstar numbers, but what he has done, he keeps doing the same thing over and over again. Consistency matters to me. Kevin Love has some inconsistent moments with the Cavs, and it is his fault because he's the one out there playing. But you're on the team with the best player in the world, LeBron, and a guy who needs the ball, Kyrie Irving. I can see how he was kind of trying to find his way on that team. He does have a championship, which Blake Griffin does not have, which Boogie, KAT, and AD also don't have. But at the same time, Kevin Love's been the 3rd banana for 3 years. Is he ready to step up and be a 2nd banana again? Because now LeBron, Isaiah Thomas is injured, so now it's him and Kevin Love. Like, Kevin Love, can you average, and people may have forgotten this, Kevin Love averaged fucking 26 and 15 3 years ago when he was in Minnesota. He was putting up monster numbers. And I remember he went against Blake Griffin, hit a 3-pointer at the buzzer to beat the Clippers in a game where I was like, man, this is a battle like the 2 best power forwards in the league, Kevin Love and Blake Griffin. Kevin Love hit that 3. I was like, Kevin Love is the best power forward in the league at that time. At that time, I said he was. And the dude was averaging 25 and up and 15 and up rebounds a game. 14, at least 15, 13, 14, 15 rebounds a game. Does he still have that in him? That's the question I need answered. Does Kevin Love still have that person within him, or has it been completely extinguished in these 3 years where he's been the third banana, not getting any plays run for him, not getting the ball a lot, and having to kind of just find his chances to do something on that team? Now they're going to ask him to step up and actually be somebody on the team again. Hopefully, is he ready to do that? Is he capable, and is he ready to actually contribute in that role? We don't know. We're going to find out this year. I think he can move up, way up in these rankings if he proves to be that guy again. But also, when he was the guy doing his thing in Minnesota, they were not winning. And winning matters. He was not winning. So I think he's properly ranked at number 6. And you could easily say that number 7 and number 8 belong ahead of him. Marc Gasol and Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap is a solid player. He's very solid, very consistent. He's a guy who, I believe Paul Millsap is a leader. He is a locker room leader. But at the same time, if he's the best player on your team, you ain't going nowhere. You might not even make the playoffs if Paul Millsap's your best player. He's not as talented as the other guys I mentioned, but he does have the leadership traits that a lot of these guys don't have. Put Paul Millsap's mindset, his mentality, in Kevin Love's body or Blake Griffin's body, or actually any of these guys' body, and all of these guys would be a whole lot better players than they are. That's credit that I'm going to give to Paul Millsap. Him going to Denver, I think that Denver team is very exciting, very enticing what they're going to do this year, but we don't know because we haven't seen them all together yet. We'll see what they do this year. And who's playing point guard for them? Is it Moutier? Is it Jameer Nelson? Who's going to run the point? But anyway, that's a different conversation that I'm not making a video about. Number 8 is Porzingis with the New York Knicks. I would be more excited for Porzingis if Kyrie had got traded there and he was still there. Kyrie and Porzingis together, that's a team. At least they're going to be exciting. Who knows if they're going to win, but they'll at least be exciting. On this New York Knicks team, I think he'll do his thing. I don't think the Knicks are going anywhere. I think they're going to be very bad this year. I don't think Porzingis is ready to step up and lead this team. They're not going to make the playoffs, even if he does do his thing. I don't think he's ready for that yet. They need some other players. The players they got ain't it. That ain't the team they got right now. New York Knicks fans, I'm sorry. All right, we ain't got to talk about the Knicks. Y'all, the Knicks are terrible. Porzingis is great. The rest of the team, is there anybody else on that team to be excited about? Who's the guy they drafted? Nicolita. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I don't know anything about his game. Maybe he'll be good. Other guys, they got some solid guys, but they got guys who basically are who they are. That's the challenge. Who do you have that has upside? I say you got these two guys, Porzingis and the guy they drafted, and that's it. I don't think anyone else is going to get better. They pretty much are the players who they are. I'm sorry, Porzingis, but you're stuck in New York, at least for now. Next, Rudy Gobert, the Stifle Tower. I like that better. Some people say the French rejection. I like the Stifle Tower. Rudy Gobert stepped his game up last year. Very good. Hopefully he stays completely healthy this upcoming season. This dude's probably going to lead the league in block shots. I think he can get you 12 to 13 rebounds a game. Scoring wise, if he can get 15, 20 points a game, you could argue that he is the best center in the league. You could argue that. I mean, it'd be a hard argument. And we don't even want to use a position center, so even forget about that. But let's say he can make the All-Star game. How about that? Let's just talk about that. I think Rudy can make the All-Star game if he stays healthy and can put some points on the board as well as do his defensive thing. Jokic, the Joker. I only put him at number 11 because the great run that he had last season wasn't even for the whole season. He got to do that for a whole season and prove that he can do it, stay healthy and do that for a whole year. He could definitely put himself in the top. I'll say he could put himself in the top 5. He could go above Blake, Kevin Love, all those guys if he can do that for a whole season to help lead that team who looks like they can make the playoffs this year. Now, what they're going to do when they make the playoffs, probably not much. But he could be the best player on that team, even with Gary Harris and who's the guy, Jamal Murray, even with Paul Millsap. I believe he is the best player on that team. Even though I got Millsap ranked ahead of him, I still think Jokic is the best player skill-wise, and this year is his chance to prove it and really, really lead that team. This guy can pass. He's a great passer. He can grab rebounds, bring the ball up the floor. So let's see him do it for a whole year. Those are my top 11. Let me mention that 11 again so everybody got it. Number 1, Anthony Davis. Karl Anthony Towns, number 2. Boogie Cousins, number 3. Draymond Green. Blake Griffin, number 5. Kevin Love, 6. Marc Gasol, number 7. Paul Millsap, number 8. Number 9, Porzingis. Number 10, Rudy Gobert. Number 11, the Joker, Jokic. And number let's go to our honorable mention. I got 4 guys in honorable mention: Joel Embiid, DeAndre Jordan, Hassan Whiteside, LaMarcus Aldridge. Let's just work backwards. These are not in any particular order. LaMarcus Aldridge is not very good last year. He went to the Spurs, and we thought, all right, he's going to get in the Spurs system. He could be the next watered down version of Tim Duncan, we'll say, and not a knock on his game. But he didn't, I don't think he really delivered the way people expected him to deliver. Especially after Kawhi got injured in the Warriors series, people said, okay, we'll just get the ball to LaMarcus Aldridge. Let's just ride him, let him score 30 on him and see what happens. But he couldn't really do it. He did not produce. And I think he wanted to get traded this offseason. They didn't trade him. I'm sure Popovich has kind of resold him on the system that he's in, and we'll see what he does this year. But last year, he was not very good by his standards. He was still a good player, but 17-7. But I mean, if you're paying somebody max money, you need more than that, I think. Hassan Whiteside. Whiteside is a very skilled, he's a very talented player. He can block shots, he'll grab you rebounds, he'll finish those dunks, he can do things. How far are you going with him as your best player? Is Hassan Whiteside the best player on the Heat? If so, they ain't going past the first round. They'll make the first round. Maybe if they get a great matchup, they can pull off an upset. I think they could have beat Boston in the first round last year had they made it, had they finished ahead of the Bulls and made the playoffs. But they ain't no real threat with Whiteside. I mean, Whiteside's scoring ability, I don't think he's that great of a scorer. He can block some shots. I definitely don't see him as a leader yet on that team. I think he can become one, maybe. But and this is the reason why I put him in honorable mention. I can't put him above any of the guys that I mentioned so far. DeAndre Jordan is who he is. Basically, Hassan Whiteside, if he can become DeAndre Jordan, he'll make himself a whole lot of money in the NBA. If he can become DeAndre. DeAndre is going to get you a few points, let's say 10 points, because he's going to catch those alley-oop dunks. He cannot score in any other way, can't make a free throw. He's going to grab every rebound in sight. He's going to get you 15 rebounds, so that's what he does. He's going to block some shots. That's what you're going to get out of DeAndre Jordan. Nothing more, nothing less. And that right there gets you a whole lot of money. DeAndre Jordan made himself a whole lot of money by doing just that. If Whiteside can get up to that level, I think he'll have a great career. Joel Embiid is the wild card. I would like to put Joel Embiid in the top 6, but I can't because Joel Embiid doesn't play. Part of playing in the NBA, as I heard Zach Lowe said, is playing in the NBA. Joel Embiid ain't been playing. And I heard that he's going to be on a minutes restriction again this year. Like, what the hell, dude? Like, is this his 3rd or 4th year since he's been out of the league? I mean, out of college. Like, Joel Embiid is fucking good. When he played last year, the Sixers were so good they would have made the playoffs if they would have extrapolated that out to an 82-game season if he had played. But the dude missed so many games. He played in like 30 games or something like that? He got to play in games. He has to play in the games and perform the way that he did on a consistent basis and stay healthy to get into my top 10. I can't put him in the top 10 if you're always injured. You got to be playing. We can't do it off potential. We can't do it off what you did in a couple games. You got to do it for a whole season and keep doing it. So that's my top 10, top 11 when it comes to bigs. So that's it, everybody. I did all 3 videos, the point guards, the wings, the bigs. Tell me what you think about the bigs. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? And why did I get it right or wrong? Leave it down there in the comments. There's almost 100 minutes of talking that I did for these 3 videos. It's a lot of talking. If you never tried doing anything like this, try talking for 100 minutes straight without stopping. It's a lot of work. I'm hungry now. I'm about to go get me some lunch. Let's enjoy the NBA season, and we'll talk about things again probably around playoff time. Is the next time I make predictions or anything like that, or a list or any of this shit. Work on your game. Go to hoophandbook.com to get your game right. If you want to learn how to play basketball for real from a pro, somebody who's done it in real life, fuck YouTube, I'm the person to hit it from. hoophandbook.com. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. 2 websites.